not leaving the United States. But I don't sit here and take a government that covered up Chernobyl, that covered up 3 Mile Island, when this clearly is now dwarfing it. Make no mistake, there's been multiple total meltdowns, fires in the reactors, fuel rods, 600,000 of them, thrown every way you can imagine, fires in every containment facility. That place is a total nightmare. And what happens is you get moderate exposure, and then your child who's 8 years old gets leukemia when they're 18. Or your 2-year-old gets leukemia when they're 7. And we know, and this is even in the New York Times and Associated Press, that an estimated 1 million people in the last 25 years have died from complications in Europe from Chernobyl. In an article that is extremely detailed and extremely important by Paul Joseph Watson that must be gotten out to everyone. U.S. government cannot be trusted on radiation plume. We have the animated government map of what happened in 1986 in Europe. And if you're a PrisonPlanet.tv viewer, we're going to be playing that video over the audio while I'm speaking here. We'll start rolling that now, showing what happened in the 10 days after Chernobyl as it went out of Ukraine into Northern Europe, into Scandinavia, turned back west over England, over Germany, over France, and then settling in over Italy. For 6 months, the Italian government, I saw a comment in a news article, I pulled it up, it turned out it was true. For 6 months in Italy, they only ate frozen food from the United States and Asia. They would not feed in the schools, public and private, by government order, any fresh produce or milk products grown in Europe. And you can see the map on screen. All of Europe got a dose of it. All of Europe, Eastern Europe, and Russia got massive dose, and that is only over 10 days. It then circled the Earth at measurable levels for another 2 years. The red area you see is guaranteed death within a week to a year. The orange area, they're talking about decades taken off your life. The yellow area, many years taken off your life, increased cancers. Just absolutely incredible what happened with Chernobyl. Now, remember, Chernobyl was a smaller plant that only had one explosion and then fires for a day and then another 8 days of steam rising out of the reactor 4. The other reactors there did not explode and were not damaged. 1 million dead in the 25 years since 1986. 1 million dead. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm trying, we're talking to family right now, trying to find somebody to go with my wife and children and leave the United States perhaps for a month. You know why? Because I know radiation. I've studied it. I know the government's going to tell us everything's fine, and those maps are going to be suppressed from the American people. And we're not going to be told how bad it is. And I'm not going to sit there and let my children huff uranium and plutonium and strontium and radioactive iodine and cesium. So I'm going to stay here and report. But I'm telling you right now, I'm watching the weather patterns. I'm going to watch what comes out from private radiation meters in California, in Washington, in Oregon, in southern areas of Canada, in Alaska, because some of the winds are also sending it up towards Alaska, in the Aleutians. And I personally will send my family to the Caribbean, because I'm not going to sit here and have my little darlings huffing that stuff like the Europeans did, period. Period. Now, it will blow over. It'll get mixed in with sand and dirt, and then tends to get diluted. It's still radioactive for billions of years, but you have less of a chance of breathing it. But when rain hits in the next week across the United States after this radiation passes, believe me, folks, you don't want to be out there running around in the rain. You don't want to get any of this on you, because it will increase your cancer risk exponentially. And the government and the media is not going to tell you this. I'll guarantee you that they're not going to tell American school children, especially where it makes landfall in Southern California with those mountains blocking it in, to not eat the produce and drink the milk for a long period of time. There's not going to be testing of milk. Or if they do, it's going to be fake testing. Because the globalists have a long history, especially in the U.S., of covering everything up, including 3 Mile Island, which was estimated a decade after, in the early 1980s, a decade after it happened in the early 1970s, to be at least 100 times what they had said. And that was on the East Coast. That blew out to sea. Most of that blew out to sea. Okay, what's happening in Japan is blowing out to sea directly towards us. Okay? Now, 4 reactors have blown sky high. 600,000 rods are in a state of disarray, ejected into the air, on fire. This is dwarfing Chernobyl conservatively. Dwarfing Chernobyl, and many experts are now saying that. Dr. Bob Bowman 3 days ago said this could easily dwarf Chernobyl. I want to get him to pop back in today. We do have a big expert coming on.
Hi, I'm Mark Craighead, founder of Crossbreed Holsters. I designed our top-selling holster, the Super Tuck Deluxe, to solve the problems of being poked, pinched, and gouged while carrying concealed. The Super Tuck Deluxe is the most comfortable, most concealable holster on the market today. We offer a 2-week free trial and a lifetime warranty.
Visit us at crossbreedholsters.com. Don't forget, crossbreedholsters.com.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
America, you've been warned. For weeks, we've been warning you about a single event we believe will happen in the next 12 months that will shake the very foundations of our nation. We've told you about the video that details this shocking prediction. So far, over 6 million people have watched this free video online. Have you? Again, this big event has nothing to do with war or the stock market, yet it could change everything about your normal way of life. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your family. Could this really happen? Well, the man who created this video has been right about many predictions in his career. He was among the first to predict the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. If you haven't taken time to watch this free video, do it right now. You may never think about America the same way again. You can find the free video at endofamerica3.com. Again, that's www.endofamerica3.com. Watch the free video at endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com.
Becoming a modern smoker is now easier and more cost-effective, thanks to LeSig. Traditional smokers the world over love LeSig. E-cigarettes with a look, feel, and taste of real cigarettes, but without the nasty smoke, ashes, or stains. LeSig is powered by revolutionary microelectronic technology. A small rechargeable battery and unique replaceable cartridge provide all the satisfaction and benefits of smoking without the smoke and all the hazards. See the large variety of LeSig e-cigarette supplies and accessories at LeSig.com. That's LECIG.com. LeSig is competitively priced, comes with the best customer service, a 30-day warranty, and satisfaction guaranteed. What a great gift idea. For a 10% discount, mention GCN when you call 870-518-4307. That's 870-518-4307. Ask for fast, free, same-day shipping. Order online at LeSig.com and use promo code GCN at checkout. That's LECIG.com. LeSig, for today's modern smoker.
Due to the extreme conditions from the Japanese earthquake and the fallout of depleted uranium, HempUSA.org recommends new important products that are loaded with iodine: microplant powder, Green Life kelp powder, raw unprocessed red palm oil, and our 10% roll-on clear iodine that heals the skin and naturally puts iodine back into your entire body. Call 908-691-2608 or visit us at HempUSA.org today.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Hi, Ted Anderson. I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Now, I want everybody to pay very close attention to what I'm saying. And Kurt Nimmo has written an article on this today that is at Infowars.com. In fact, I'll pull that up and put it on screen for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. For listeners who are radio listeners, just go to Infowars.com. The Japanese government, USA Today, has confirmed what we first reported yesterday, is not, repeat, not reporting radiation levels from the 2 states surrounding Fukushima with the 4 reactors that are in a state of total bedlam. Headline, government corporations push cover-up of Japanese nuclear nightmare. Continuing with this news, the latest article at Infowars.com this morning, Pentagon cover-up of data on Fukushima disaster. It is not only the Japanese that have detectors in that area. The fleet is there. The troops are at Okinawa. The troops there with the NBC, nuclear, chemical, biological detectors, very high-tech, are in Seoul and all over the Pacific area. We are now 6+ days into this unfolding disaster. 6.5 days ago, this began, and we have been given nothing from Fukushima that is blowing directly out to sea. Do you understand the treason? This is the same government that puts sodium fluoride in our water, knowing it causes bone cancer at 7 times the rate for men, 3 times for women. This is the same government that rolls out GMOs that every other country refuses. This is the same government that approves drugs on the market that other countries won't approve. They could care less about us. Again, the headline, Pentagon cover-up of data on Fukushima disaster. It is not only the Japanese doing this. As I told you yesterday, governments, corporations push cover-up of Japanese nuclear disaster. Kurt Nimmo's article breaks down that our government, the Japanese government, and others are covering this up. They are not releasing the data. You've had 4 reactors blow sky high, 600,000 rods ejected all over the place, fires going intensely since Saturday, intensifying Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, today, fires, smoke, continuing, radioactive. And now the U.S. military, this is the Wall Street Journal, at a glance, U.S. begins evacuations of Japan. The U.S. Department of State has authorized last night the voluntary evacuation of U.S. dependents of U.S. government personnel based in northeast Japan as concerns mounted about the levels of radiation emerging and emanating from the stricken Japanese nuclear reactors. As of yesterday morning, all the top experts said that if they don't contain this in 48 hours, it will be worse than Chernobyl. Ladies and gentlemen, it was worse than Chernobyl when the Mark I Fukushima 3 blew up in that big black mushroom cloud and ejected hundreds of thousands of fuel rods stored on the roof into the atmosphere. Okay? And again, New York Times, with quotes from Department of Energy and the United Nations, they expect radiation to hit the Aleutians. We went and looked at the Aleutian Island detectors. It says you got to register. We can't get in. We'll keep trying, but they're expecting that today. We know the government's clamping down on media. And we saw that bizarre report out of Alaska, who would be one of the first to get it from some of the northerly winds, that they had detected it. In the article, they said that they hadn't detected it. We don't know what's going on. And we're going to have to rely on the private detector